Hey besties! Today we'll dive into the Korean drama by name My Holo Love. This was actually the first ever K-drama that I watched, and it's been history since. But what makes this K-drama so special and so unique, you might ask? Well, it dives into humanity's complex relationship with technology and love as both separate and a direct entity. There's a deeply interesting relationship between people and people, AI and people, and heck, even AI and AI that explores and explores what it means to be human. This show is a goldmine for ideas to talk about, but however, these are topics that resonate with me the most, and likely why it's still one of my favorite K-dramas till this day. Here's a brief explanation on the plot if you haven't seen it. My Holo Love follows a woman called Han Seo who has face blindness, and this is a real life condition called. And one day, a prototype falls into her hands in a way that I can't explain because spoilers, but it contains an AI called Holo. While Soyeon struggles with her face blindness, often leading people to call her rude, when in actuality she's just a girl, she finds comfort in Holo and eventually falls in love with him, and he her, unaware that Holo is actually Nando's alter ego. Now, who's Nando? Developer of a tech who founded Holo, but any more will be saying too much. The story unfolds as Soyeon tries to protect Holo as he is a piece of technology that is very precious, while navigating the complexity of her feelings and the fact that she actually met Nando, a seemingly realer and less nice version of Holo. As you can tell, the plot itself is very interesting, but we're not here to talk about the plot, so moving on. The first theme I want to talk about is the ability and inability of AI comprehending human emotions. Theoretically, in a fully developed model where all experience needed to form opinions and ideas, is there any difference between us and AI? Many people in the world are like Soyoung, where they face loneliness and are relented on some type of technology to fill in the gap. Examples include video games, bird riding, and invention of show. However, a new phenomenon has appeared. ChatGPT. It has become a trend for people to use ChatGPT as a friend or a therapist. Similar to Holo, in this case, Soyoung seeks advice on how to be human, how to interact with people, how to sound nicer. Oh, come on, we're all guilty asking chat is this email polite. But why is this so important? Well, there's a paradox here. In AI, something not alive, something that's not so tangible, something synthetic, is being used as a tool to explain and better understand human emotion. How can that be? Or it's actually working. In the shows, there are examples after examples where Holo comprehends Sean's feelings. But I'm asking you, does he actually? Basically, is there a difference between understanding feelings? Well, feelings? There's a case where Hondo's crying, but I don't think he's crying because he feels sad, but because she sees that Han Seo is sad. The question here is does this qualify him feeling emotions? The best way I can describe the difference is by introducing another banger, a game called Detroit Become Human. In short, androids are also experiencing the same phenomenon, used as tools, discriminated against, and not thought of as alive, as people. However, those who experience an absurd amount of emotion gain a choice to break free or break their code, becoming something called a deviant, where they make their own choices. But what I really want to stress here is that Connor, another character, stresses that this is not emotions, but a liability to regulate their code. Is this any different, though, than a human being unable to regulate their chemical messengers, receptors, and pathways? We can go on and on, but I think you get the point. Ultimately, I think this is something you have to decide on. So, moving on. The second thing that I want to talk about is accessibility to technology. The ultimate goal of technology is simply to improve the quality of humanity. This has been done in so many ways. In the show, it's shown through literally and imagined ways. A concrete example is when Holo was able to call out the name of her co-workers, making the situation that Soyeon was in less stressful. And there's so many times throughout the show where Holo encourages her to be herself, to not be afraid to show that who she really is inside. An imagined way is his ability to actually create holographic images and seem like it excite and inspire her and even comfort her in times when she was sad. Yes, this is a show, but this could relate to upcoming technology coming out right now. There are glasses that are able to transcribe and translate live audio into script on glass lenses. These glasses are able to break through barriers and make human interactions more accessible. The ability to gather information online is also a newer discovery of recent times. People can teach themselves how to code without going to school. ChatGPT can be used as an educational tool, giving you step-by-step answers to questions it generates. But like many things in the world, there are trade-offs. And having this increase of accessibility thanks to AI, and honestly technology in general, one clear trade-off is pollution. An MIT technology review that to train a single AI model, it emits almost 60,000 pounds of CO2, which is equivalent to a lifetime emission of 5 cars. They also use and the amount of water to actually cool down these systems, we can see that this is not good for the planet. And this is what I believe is a huge trade-off to have in AI. But this is just to name one example. There's so many examples that we can name off. Overall, I believe this discussion is going to become more real and more complicated as we progress as a society. Laws have yet to catch up, school regulations are adamant against its use, and many companies are simply and unfortunately using it to better their apps. But in the end, seeing the good and bad of AI, its potential and capacity to better and worsen the world, and the near expedition change of the horizon thanks to it. Would you like your own Holo? Thanks for watching my video, and stay tuned for the next one, the next reflection.